sheet on Holy Artisan case to be submitted next week, informs Obaidul Qadir, paying tribute to victims of country's deadliest terrorist incident. Thousands protest in U.S. states decrying Trump administration's strict immigration policy. And in World Cup football today, Spain versus Russia match drawn to extra time as both teams scored 1 goal each. Assalamu alaikum. You're watching News at 10 on BTV World. I'm Nuzat Sharmeen welcoming you all.
And I'm Tanzila Manar Sultan.
With Myanmar for repatriation of the Rohingyas, the Prime Minister said Myanmar is yet to take any action for its implementation. Sheikh Hasina said the government is providing all humanitarian support to Rohingyas, including healthcare services. While expressing international solidarity with Bangladesh on Rohingya issue, the UN Secretary General reiterated keeping pressure on Myanmar on the issue and giving continued support to Bangladesh. UN Secretary General expressed concern over radicalization of Rohingyas, laying importance on an education system to prevent them from being radicalized. He also laid importance on putting more pressure on Myanmar to make them understand what they should do. Assuring the World Bank's continued support to Bangladesh on Rohingya issue, Jim Yong Kim said development work and humanitarian issues should be dealt together. Appreciating Bangladesh's graduation from LDC to a developing country, the World Bank president said he will place a proposal to the bank's Board of Governors to provide loan at a concession rate. Guterres highly praised Bangladesh's economic growth as well as counter-terrorism activities and disaster management programs. The Prime Minister said her government is striving hard to build a hunger and poverty-free Bangladesh as dreamt by father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and World Bank President Jim Yong Kim joined a dinner hosted by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at Hotel Sonargaon in Dhaka this evening. On arrival at the venue, the UN Secretary General and the World Bank President were received by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Later, the UN Secretary General and the World Bank President, accompanied by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, went round different tables and exchanged greetings with other invited guests there. Speaker of the Parliament, ministers, state ministers, parliament members, diplomats of different countries and high civil and military officials attended the dinner. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres arrived in Dhaka this morning to assess the progress towards safe, voluntary and dignified return of the Rohingyas sheltered in Bangladesh. Visiting UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and World Bank President Jim Yong Kim have highly appreciated Bangladesh's developments in education, health and economic sectors. They voiced their appreciation at a discussion on Sustainable Development 2030 at the Prime Minister's office today. The duo is on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh and as a part of their program took part in the discussion at the PMO. Antonio Guterres and Jim Yong Kim praised Bangladesh on country's gradual development. The UN Secretary General in his speech expressed gratitude to Bangladesh for allowing shelters to the Rohingyas and termed Bangladesh's economic advancement a miracle. The World Bank President in his speech said despite hurdles, Bangladesh has made commendable progress in health and education which can be example for other countries. Foreign Minister H. Mahmood Ali, Planning Minister H. M. Mustafa Kamal, Chief Coordinator of the PMO on SDG Abdul Kalam Azad and Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister Mohammad Nuzibur Rahman also spoke on the occasion. Earlier, a documentary on Bangladesh's progress was screened.
at the World Economic Forum ranked Bangladesh.
The World Bank has stopped approving projects for Myanmar as part of its move to beef up pressures for taking back its Rohingya people from Bangladesh in a peaceful way. Finance Minister Abul Mal Abdul Muhit said this while briefing journalists after a meeting with World Bank Group President Jim Yong Kim at the Secretariat today. He said the visiting World Bank President and the UN Secretary General expressed their gratitude to Bangladesh as the country is giving shelter to around 10 million Rohingyas, though it is an overpopulated country. He said the visit of the World Bank and the UN chiefs will help create awareness among the world community for mounting pressure on Myanmar for taking back the Rohingyas. Finance Minister said he told the UN to take steps for making a safe zone for the Rohingyas in Myanmar so that they can live there without any fear. Mohit said the World Bank will give $480 million in grants to support the Rohingyas in Bangladesh. He said from the grants, around $50 million will come within a short time. The rest of the amount will come within 2 years. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and World Bank Group President Jim Yong Kim visited Bangabandhu Memorial Museum in the capital's Dhanmondi 32 today. They placed floral wreaths at the portrait of Father of the Nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and paid tributes to him. They also signed visitors' book there. State Minister for Foreign Affairs M. Shahriar Alam accompanied them and explained to them various things going around different sections of the Bangabandhu Memorial Museum. UN Resident Coordinator in Dhaka, Mia Seppo, among others, was present. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said charge sheet on the Holy Artisan case will be submitted within next week. Obaidul Qadir said this to the newsman after paying respect to victims of Holy Artisan attack on its 2nd anniversary. Organizing Secretary of Bangladesh Awami League Khalid Mahmood MP and Dhaka Metropolitan Police Commissioner Asaduzzaman Mia were present. Obaidul Qadir said law enforcing agencies are alert to root out the militants. He said brave political steps have been taken in this regard. Earlier, Bangladesh Awami League, delegates from embassies and development agencies in Dhaka, DMP Commissioner, Police Service Association and different socio-political organizations paid tribute to the victims of Holy Artisan attack.
Moving on to international news.
Tens of thousands of people have joined a nationwide protest across the U.S. over the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies. More than 630 events were planned, with protesters calling for migrant families split at the U.S. border to be reunited. Some 2,000 children remain separated from their parents despite President Donald Trump bowing to public outrage and curtailing the policy. Concerns remain that records were not kept linking parents and children. 48 passengers were killed after their bus fell into a gorge in Uttarakhand's Pauri Garhwal district in India this morning. While 45 of them died on the spot, the critically injured were rushed to the hospital. The accident happened on the Pipali-Bohana motorway while the 28-seater bus carrying 58 persons was on its way to Ramnagar from Bohan. The police and a team from the National Disaster Response Force are engaged in rescue operations. The Chief Minister of the state of Uttarakhand said magisterial inquiry has been ordered. Back to more national news. Commerce Minister Tofail Ahmed has said Bangladesh's political and commercial relations with the United Kingdom is on the rise. He told this to journalists after attending a view exchange meeting with British Minister of State for Asia and Pacific, Mark Field, at the Secretariat today. The Commerce Minister said the government is pledge-bound to hold a free and fair election with participation of all political parties. He said if BNP skips election this time too, their registration will be annulled.
Claiming Khulna and Ghazipur City Corporation elections acceptable to the people, Tofail Ahmed said comment of the US ambassador on the election was unwanted. A 6-member delegation headed by UK State Minister for Asia and Pacific, Mark Field, called on State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Shahryar Alam, at his office today. They discussed different bilateral issues to extend the relation between Bangladesh and the United Kingdom. Officials concerned were present during the meeting. President of International Red Cross, Peter Morer, has said Rohingyas may repatriate to their homeland if the Myanmar government ensures their dignity and safety. He said this while visiting the Rohingya camps at Teknaf, Chakmarkul in Cox's Bazar today. Director General of Red Cross for Asia Pacific region, Boris Michael, and officers concerned were present on the occasion. During the trip, he talked to the Rohingyas, visited schools, and witnessed relief activities run by the ICRC there. The Red Cross president also visited